We are going to have a little look at an article that was in the Sunday World. You can see it here. Welcome decision. GRA hopes failure of Garda killer to overturn murder conviction will bring closure. So obviously we just have touched on this before, that the GRA, the Garda Representatives Association, there's 12,000 of them. So there's 12,000 investigators are now happy that a man who's 5'7" has been convicted of a murder that was committed, a murder committed by a man who's over 6 feet tall. So let's get that clear, that the entire Garda force, and they have been warned and information has been sent to all these authorities in relation to the despicable and deplorable investigation and obviously the trial in respect of the murder of Detective Garda Adrian Donohoe. Now there's a couple of little bits in this article which leads on to the actual appeal decision. And again, as has always happened during the course of Aaron's campaign, the Justice for Aaron Brady campaign, we can link, because we are telling the truth, we can link events and coordinate them and show clearly that everything we have said in over the 500 videos, podcasts and lives, that everything that has been said in the Justice for Aaron Brady campaign is correct. So we're just going to have a little read of a part of this article here from the GRA and the Sunday World. The three judges dismissed all grounds of appeal, including a complaint with Brady's lawyers that the integrity of the trial was well and truly breached when a key witness, Molly Staunton, who gave testimony via video link from New York during the COVID-19 crisis, was interrupted by an unseen man who told her to stop it right now before the link was dramatically cut. They told the three-court judge that the incident was grounds for retrial. Rejecting this ground, the three judges here, Edwards, Kennedy and Burns, said the interruptions that occurred did not represent a real and substantial risk of unfair trial, which could not be avoided by the direction of the trial judge. Nothing could be further from the truth. Now, we have created a number of videos, obviously, in respect to this. Molly Staunton purged herself. The judges are saying exactly what we have said. Judge Michael White made it clear the agreement with Molly Staunton was that she would be on her own in a place that the public or no one else had access to at the time of her testimony, and she agreed to that. She agreed that and told the court that there was no one else with her. She purged herself. She told lies. Obviously, this is fair and well with these three judges. The trial judge, who carefully and properly addressed the jury on the issue who had responsibility for the interruptions, acknowledged the absence of supervision and referred to the interruptions as being from the witness's boyfriend. That was never, ever investigated. Mark Phillips and Brendan Graham told us the next morning after a man assaulted Molly Staunton. Now, we haven't had the full transcripts from the ruling yet. These three judges told us that it would be put up online, and as yet, the 363-page ruling has not been publicised, which is the duty of the Irish judicial system to put forward their decision to the Irish public. Now, there was some nonsense about grammar and rereading it. It could be read easily in a day, and I'm sure that the judicial system has software programs that would look after the vast majority of grammar, full stops, commas and colons. So unless at the time of making this video, the appeal decision is not available to the public. Now, I stand to be corrected if they've put it on another portal or on another site, but it's not on Courts Ireland, where there seems to be daily postings of judgments. I cannot find it. As I say, I stand to be corrected. If someone can find it, that's fine. But this pathetic apology for what happened, Molly Staunton, is it's very, very scary. And as people said at the court on Thursday morning of the appeal decision, that the Irish judicial system certainly died with these three judges in that courtroom 16, when they give a summary of Adrian Donohoe's murder and the whole trial surrounding it. Now, this is very interesting here. Miss Staunton told the murder trial that Brady said that he had to carry around the guilt of murdering a cop in Ireland. Miss Staunton said in her direct evidence that Brady also claimed during a drunken rant to be the most feared man in Ireland. Now, we have covered this on numerous occasions, that when being cross-examined, Miss Staunton did say that Aaron Brady was angry and having a rant, but he didn't say anything about killing a cop in Ireland. Now, this rant, again, there has to be reasons and there has to be some sort of correlation of events. Now, we have mentioned this before, and I'm actually going to bring up a picture of this man here. This man, as you can see, with the loud jacket on him, is Garda Kirwin, and he has proclaimed to be best friend, and obviously played football along with the deceased Detective Garda Adrian Donohoe. Now, this man here, Kirwin, along with another detective, Kieran Reidy, took it upon themselves to go to Kerry, to Aaron's in-laws, and on the day that Aaron was ranting in the apartment in New York, the reason for that rant was this. This man, Kirwin, along with Detective Kieran Reidy, went to Kerry, told the family in Kerry that I was the head of the IRA in South Armagh, had committed several murders and had sanctioned numerous other murders. And obviously, they told the family that Aaron had murdered Detective Garda Adrian Donohoe and actually banged on the table in that family home in Kerry. Obviously, this word got back to Aaron's partner, and the immediate reaction from that family was to tell Aaron's partner to get as far away from Aaron as was physically possible, as quick as possible. So Aaron's partner has told Aaron what has happened, what these people have said, and obviously Aaron has gone ballistic in the apartment. Now, there's another issue here insofar as we can show quite clearly, and we can state quite clearly, that these events happened. They cannot be denied, and we can link these events together. And we will repeat once again, Molly Staunton on the cross-examination did tell the court that Aaron Brady did not say anything about murdering a cop. Now, then we have the situation where this man goes on record, Kirwin, professing to be Adrian's best friend, and obviously Kirwin would have had very close contact, and I'm sure had very intimate moments and close moments with Detective Garda Ryan, who obviously was on duty that night that Adrian Donohoe was brutally murdered. And you can see from the picture here, Detective Garda Adrian Donohoe was a big man. Detective Kirwin, I think, is about 6 foot tall. And Detective Kirwin, let's have a look at the scenario. That must surely have happened. It must have happened. There can be no denying that Kirwin would have sat down with Joe Ryan, even away from the glare of taking statements and just chatting about what happened that night when Adrian Donohoe was brutally murdered. And surely part of that conversation would have been who murdered my friend, who murdered our friend, who murdered our colleague. And Joe Ryan would have told Darren Kirwin that the man who shot and murdered Adrian that night was over 6 feet tall. Joe Ryan would have said to Kirwin, the man who took our friend's life was as tall as you, maybe taller. And from some work we are getting done now at the moment, it would be possible that the man who actually took Adrian Donohoe's life is as tall as Adrian. Now, I don't know what Kirwin, what his story is, or how he can be happy with the investigation. He was one of those that was going around clapping backs, laughing and joking on Thursday at the appeal decision. I don't know what way they're trained in Templemore or whatever. Just get anyone, get someone. It doesn't really matter if you have the actual person who committed the crime, as long as we have someone in the frame for it. But obviously, this is a situation where it's a close friend, it's a colleague, it's someone you've played football with, it's someone you've been involved in the club with. And Kirwin is happy because he knows that the man who shot and murdered his friend and colleague and teammate is still walking free. And it's as simple as that. If Kirwin wants to disagree with that he had that conversation with Joe Ryan, so be it. But we would say quite categorically, this man here knows 1,000,000% Aaron Brady did not shoot and murder his friend. So we have got an electronic version of the appeal decision. Obviously, we break it down, have a look at the most vital points. Obviously, we'll be going over the absolutely abhorrent decision that a witness being attacked during testimony is fine. That's okay in the Irish judicial system. And it's okay that those in authority do not investigate the attack. And the failure of Garda killer to overturn murder conviction will bring closure. It most certainly will not bring closure for us. And I know deep in Darren Kirwin's heart and other members of the Garda Síochána in Dundalk who are friends with Adrian Donohoe, there is no closure. They have to live with the fact of what they've done and they've destroyed several other lives in pursuance of some sort of a justification for their existence as detectives and investigators in Dundalk. And I do believe he was escalated to an inspector, or he actually got promoted. So that is the extent of the people we are dealing with, and that is the morals of the people we are dealing with. And I think it's quite plain to see it is below disgusting. And they have no morals, and they care little for anyone, only their own self-image. So we will be discussing and breaking down, excuse me, discussing and breaking down the appeal decision, and we have much more to come on information we're going to put forward now the appeal is over, and we look forward to doing that in the next videos. And it will not bring closure to the Justice for Aaron Brady campaign.